What's good, sports fans? So last night, the Green Bay Packers took on the Washington Commanders. My prediction going into the game was that Green Bay would win 27-20. The actual score for the game was Green Bay 27, Washington 18. I don't normally toot my own horn, but that's pretty close. So toot on that one. But at the beginning of the game, it didn't look like it was going to be that close. Green Bay looks like they are 4 touchdowns better than Washington, but somehow Washington stayed in the game. To start the game, they go up 14-0, 2 very just easy drives. They're just marching their way down the field, right? Jordan Love just throwing dots all over the place. Green Bay receivers making great catches. That one on the sideline was unbelievable. And on both sides of the ball, they just executed at such a high level throughout the game. Washington had his moments. Washington's defense was able to defend the run pretty well in the first half. But anything Green Bay wanted to do when they needed to do it, seems like they did it. This is what I mean by that. Washington was able to keep it close, right? Beginning of the fourth quarter, Washington scores a touchdown to cut the game to 17-10. It's like, oh, snap. Okay. Looks like this may be a game. And then in the response, Green Bay marches right down the field, scores a touchdown in a drive where there was pretty much no resistance from Washington's defense. It seems like anytime they needed to score, they did it. Anytime they needed to stop, they did it. Green Bay's defense was so on point from the strategy to the players executing. Everything they did was well. You look at Jaden Daniels, I don't think he played bad. I just think there were no opportunities for him to make plays. Green Bay did a great job of bringing pressure with 4. And then when they did blitz, they brought pressure in a smart way. Because the thing with a player like Jaden Daniels is, if you bring pressure, you have to make sure that you don't allow him to escape that pressure for big scrambles. So if you bring 5, you bring 6, and he escapes, if you're playing man-to-man on the back end, that could lead to really big scramble plays for that quarterback. But they did a great job of when they did bring pressure, playing zone and having players in position to make sure that none of his scrambles were big scramble plays. So there were no big passes out there for Jaden, no big scrambles. So everything was dink and dunk down the field. Right? He ended up with 200 yards passing on 46 attempts. Nothing was there as far as being able to go down the field. Everything was hard for them to do offensively. And then for the Packers, Jordan Love just seemed so in command. The way he moved in the pocket, the way he was able to make those throws, the accuracy on his throws, especially intermediate passes, everything was on point. The Packers didn't really show a weakness outside of maybe the offensive line, which came in with injuries. The young guys got some penalties that made some things get called back. But outside of that, they look like a team that is a juggernaut. They look real Superbowl-ish right now. They're up there with the Bills and the Ravens and maybe the Chargers. Like, those 4 teams look the best to me so far in the NFL. Let me know if I'm tripping, but the Packers looking real Superbowl-ish.